Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, let's dive into this mind-boggling question. What if, one day, you woke up and had to live underwater? No, I'm not talking about your leaky plumbing woes. I mean, what if we permanently became citizens of the ocean? Imagine it. Your Monday morning commute is suddenly replaced by a school of fish. Your cat is replaced by a seahorse, and taxes. Oh, they still exist. You've got to pay those shell-shocking sea taxes now. Welcome to a world where Poseidon is your new landlord, and your oxygen tank is your BFF. All right, let's start this oceanic venture by addressing the elephant fish in the room. How are we going to breathe underwater? Do we all suddenly get gills overnight? Or do we have to wear those clunky scuba tanks all the time? Picture this. You try to take a sip of your morning coffee, but remember, water outside, water inside. Whoops, you just accidentally sipped a mouthful of salty seawater instead. Yum? Nasiel lattes, anyone? And forget about crunchy cereal, unless you fancy a bowl of sea-soaked mush. Now, onto the human need for gossip. How are we going to communicate underwater? Telepathy? Hand signals? Or maybe we'll evolve into some sort of underwater shouting. Imagine trying to sing your favorite song, but all that comes out is a series of hideous aquatic burbles. Ouch, that'll hurt your American Idol chances. And texting? Forget about it. Unless you've got a waterproof smartphone, your text messages are going to look like a toddler's first attempt at slam poetry. Moving on to housing in this brave, new, wet world. Think SpongeBob's pineapple under the sea, but imagine more seaweed and fewer annoying starfish. We would need to invent a whole slew of new construction materials that wouldn't dissolve, or float away, or get eaten by a curious shark. Imagine coming home after a long day of seaweed farming and finding your living room replaced by a gaping shark bite. And let's not even get started on the subject of plumbing. We're underwater. I'll let that sink in. As if adjusting to underwater life wasn't enough, we'd also have to cope with the marine neighbors. How do you handle an overly intrusive sea cucumber? Who's going to be brave enough to tell the jellyfish they can't just drift into our homes without notice? Picture flirting with a cute octopus at the ocean club only to realize their 8 arms are perfect for pickpocketing. Or stepping outside to find your pet seahorse has been bullied by a gang of teenage turtles. It's a wild, wild water world out there, folks. Lastly, let's ponder about the job market in this liquid lifestyle. Perhaps there's a career in coral gardening or shell trading. How about seaweed farming? Or maybe you fancy becoming an underwater taxi driver, navigating through treacherous tunnels of kelp and avoiding grumpy squids during rush hour. Remember, in this aquatic adventure, the phrase drowning in paperwork takes on a new literal meaning. So long, paper cuts, hello, ink stains from squid secretaries. Transitioning to our new aquatic domain, we'd need to rethink the entire concept of communication. Sure, we've got hand signals for scuba diving, but how do you tell your spouse that you accidentally used the last of the seaweed cream without flapping your arms around like some sort of frenzied manta ray? The beautiful languages we've crafted over millennia on land might just as well be ancient hieroglyphics down here. Attempt to utter a single word, and all you get is a mouthful of salt water and a bunch of bubbles rushing to the surface. And you thought autocorrect was the worst thing to happen to communication. So, we'd have to evolve our communication methods. Perhaps we could learn from the masters of underwater communication themselves. Dolphins, for instance. They've got a complex language of clicks, whistles, and body movements. But let's be honest, getting the hang of that might be as challenging as learning Mandarin Chinese in a week. Next, we'll have to tackle the issue of transportation. No more cruising down the highway in convertibles, feeling the wind in our hair. Instead, we might be riding seahorses to work, or hitching a lift on a passing sea turtle. No more traffic jams, sure, but also no more roadside diners for those impromptu snack stops. Then there's the speed issue to consider. Even the fastest swimmer can't keep up with a leisurely bike ride. So, unless we figure out a way to turbocharge a dolphin, commuting to work could become a day-long affair. And what about vacations? A road trip across the continent would turn into a trans-oceanic odyssey. Although, on the bright side, there will be a lot more beachfront properties available for your summer getaway. Lastly, let's talk about dining underwater. Seafood lovers might be thrilled at first, but remember, variety is the spice of life. The thought of eating fish for breakfast, lunch, and dinner might just lose its appeal after the 100th tuna salad sandwich. And forget about barbecuing, unless you fancy a soggy burger. We'd have to get creative with our underwater ingredients. Ever tried a seaweed smoothie or a plankton parfait? What about a sea cucumber salad? These might be our future staples. And just imagine the challenge of cooking. Forget about frying or baking. It's going to be all about raw, marinated, or perhaps pressure-cooked dishes. So, living underwater, it may sound like an adventurous escape from our mundane routines at first, but consider this. Can you really give up sunsets, summer barbecues, and the sweet smell of spring flowers for a life of salty water, seaweed, and sea cucumbers? I suppose we'll leave that for you to ponder. If we're going to survive underwater, we'll need to adapt, and not just socially or professionally. We're talking biological adaptations here, folks. Suddenly, our good old human body isn't quite up to the task anymore. We'd need to develop ways to breathe underwater, withstand cold temperatures and high pressure, see clearly without daylight, and move swiftly without exhausting ourselves. Let's start with our lungs. They're fantastic for breathing air, but not so hot at extracting oxygen from water. So, we'd need to borrow a few tricks from our aquatic pals. Gills, anyone? These amazing organs allow fish to extract oxygen from the water they inhale. But hold on, it's not as simple as sprouting some gills and becoming a mere person. Our muscular and circulatory systems would have to undergo major changes to accommodate this new method of oxygen extraction. Now, on to temperature regulation. The ocean can get pretty chilly, and our bodies aren't naturally insulated against the cold. But marine mammals have a handy adaptation that we could use: blubber. This thick layer of fat beneath the skin provides insulation, buoyancy, and energy reserves. So, say goodbye to your beach body and hello to your blubber body. Next up, we have to tackle the pressure problem. The deeper you go underwater, the greater the pressure becomes. To survive at these depths, we'd need to develop a way to resist this pressure. Marine creatures have various adaptations, like flexible bones and compressible lungs, to cope with the intense pressure of the deep sea. Perhaps we'd evolve similar traits. Then there's the issue of vision. Without sunlight, the underwater world can be dark and murky. We'd need eyes capable of seeing in low light conditions. Many deep-sea creatures have developed large, sensitive eyes to capture as much light as possible. We might evolve similar adaptations, or perhaps we'd develop a whole new sensory system, like the lateral line system fish use to detect changes in water pressure. And finally, we'd need a more efficient way to navigate our watery world. Walking is out of the question, and swimming can be exhausting. We might evolve streamlined bodies for more efficient swimming, or perhaps we develop some form of propulsion, like the jet propulsion used by squids and octopuses. So in our underwater utopia, we might end up looking more like a strange mishmash of sea creatures than our current selves. But hey, if it means we can breathe underwater, see in the dark, and swim like a dolphin, who's complaining? As we continue our hypothetical deep dive into an underwater existence, let's not forget about the lifestyle and recreational activities that we so dearly love on land. How would our hobbies and pastimes change in this new aquatic environment? Take sports, for instance. You can say goodbye to football, baseball, and golf, unless we can figure out a way to make the balls float downwards. And let's not even get started on how slam dunks would look in a game of underwater basketball. Music could become quite a challenge as well. Imagine trying to play a guitar or piano underwater. The sound just wouldn't carry the same way, and the instruments themselves would be ruined by the water. Singing would be out of the question too. After all, you can't belt out a tune when you're holding your breath or speaking through an oxygen mask. As for our beloved digital entertainment, well, we'd have to figure out a way to make our technology waterproof. No more lounging on the couch, binge-watching your favorite shows unless we can create a water-resistant TV. And forget about scrolling through social media on your smartphone during your coffee break. On the plus side, this could lead to less screen time and more face-to-face interactions, which some might argue we need more of anyway. Outdoor recreational activities would change drastically as well. Hiking, cycling, and camping would be replaced by exploring coral reefs, swimming alongside marine life, and setting up underwater camps. If you're lucky, you might even get to swim with a pod of playful dolphins or witness the breathtaking sight of a whale migration. And let's not forget about fashion. Our existing wardrobes would be completely unsuitable. Instead, we'd be rocking wetsuits and flippers all year round. On the bright side, no more worrying about what to wear. Living underwater would certainly be a massive adjustment with many challenges to overcome. But who knows, with the right mindset and a sense of adventure, it might just be the most exciting thing to happen to humanity. Well, folks, there you have it. Life would certainly be more flowing if we had to live underwater. From morning coffee mishaps to jellyfish home invasions, it's safe to say a world submerged under the sea would be quite the wet ride. But hey, at least without Wi-Fi, you'd finally be free from those annoyingly persistent email newsletters. Oh wait, your mom just figured out how to communicate through a series of dolphin clicks. Clean your room, she echoes through the deep. Sigh. Well, some things never change. Before you go, make sure to subscribe to FlakLab for more watery what-ifs, and remember, no matter how weird our hypotheticals get, they're still less strange than your mom being a quantum physicist. Stay tuned for next time when we answer the burning question. What if your toes could talk?